Guys, today is not just another travel day. This is the day I finally see Niagara Falls, a place I've dreamed about since I was a little girl. I used to look at photos and try to imagine everything, the sound, the mist, what it would feel like to actually stand there. And today I'm finally on my way. But what I didn't expect is that this dream day would turn into a race against time. Because somewhere between chasing a childhood dream and capturing every moment, something unexpected started happening with my camera. And I only had a limited amount of time to capture everything before it was too late. Hi everyone, I'm Nia. Welcome back to Persian Travelista. Today we are traveling from Toronto to Niagara Falls. And what starts as a dream quickly turns into one of the most unforgettable days I've ever had. Let's go! There's something special about traveling by train. It feels slower, more peaceful, like the journey itself is part of the story. As we left Toronto behind, I just kept looking out the window. Every minute felt closer to something I had imagined for years. And honestly, it felt like a younger version of me was sitting right there beside me, just waiting for this moment to finally happen. I didn't even realize how quickly everything was about to change. When I arrived in Niagara, I wasn't at the falls yet. There were still streets to cross, buses to take, and little moment of the city in between. But I actually loved that part because the anticipation kept building with every step. Every sign that said Niagara Falls felt more real than the blast. I knew I was getting closer, and then, before I even saw it, I heard it. A deep roar in the distance, getting louder, closer, and then I turned the corner. And there it was, Niagara Falls. Nothing prepares you for it. Not photos, not videos, nothing. Standing there felt completely different. The water crashing down with incredible force, the mist filling the air, the sound vibrating through everything. For a moment I just stopped. No thinking, no rushing, just standing there, taking it all in. And of course, I started filming everything, every angle, every step, every reaction. I didn't want to miss a single second. At first, I was just enjoying it, completely lost in the moment, walking closer, exploring different viewpoints, filming everything I could. Until suddenly I realized I had to be more careful with time, because I still had so much left to see. Horseshoe Falls, the river walk, everything. And just like that, the day turned from calm exploration into something faster, more focused. Almost like I was trying to catch every second before it disappeared. So I started moving quickly through the park, trying to see everything, while still holding on to the moment. And somehow, it was both as stressful and exciting at the same time. As I continued exploring, I started thinking about how incredible this place really is. You know, when most people hear Niagara Falls, they think it's just a waterfall. And honestly, that's exactly what I thought growing up too. But Niagara is so much more than that. The falls themselves are actually made of 3 different waterfalls, and every second an enormous amount of water rushes over the edge. Standing here, you can really feel the power of nature, in ways that's hard to describe. And something else that surprised me is that Niagara Falls has been attracting visitors for more than a century, long before social media, long before YouTube. People were traveling from all over the world just to experience this view with their own eyes. I can completely understand why. The more I explored, the more I realized this isn't just a destination, it's an entire region filled with things to do. Just a short drive from here is Niagara-on-the-Lake, a charming little town that looks like something out of a storybook. It's known for its historic streets, beautiful gardens, local wineries, and cozy atmosphere. Honestly, it sounds like the kind of place where you can slow down, grab a coffee, and spend an entire afternoon just wandering around. And that's when I realized something. This trip gave me my first experience of Niagara Falls, but definitely not my last. Next time, I'd love to spend more time exploring Niagara-on-the-Lake, trying some cozy cafes and restaurants, maybe taking a boat tour closer to the falls, or even being brave enough to try the zip line. So if you've been here before, let me know in the comments what's the one thing I absolutely shouldn't miss on my next visit. And then something stopped me completely. A rainbow appeared over Niagara Falls, right above the water, and everything else just disappeared for a moment. No rushing, no planning, no thinking about what was next. Just standing there watching a rainbow over something I had dreamed about my whole life. It felt unreal, like the world had paused just long enough for me to breathe, and that became one of my favorite moments of the entire day. If you are enjoying this journey so far, subscribe and join me on more travel adventures like this around the world. As I walked around, I found myself watching the people almost as much as the scenery. And honestly, that was one of my favorite parts. I heard different languages, saw people from all over the world, and watched them experience Niagara Falls in their own way. Some were taking photos, some were laughing with friends, others were simply standing still taking it all in. And for some reason, this place felt like more than just a tourist attraction. It felt like a healing place, a place where you slow down, breathe, and remember how beautiful this world really is. Maybe it was the sound of the water, maybe it was the power of nature. But standing here, I felt a sense of peace and a deeper connection to God that is hard to describe. And looking around, I had a feeling many others were experiencing something similar. Before I left, I made one more stop, the Canada-US border. And I don't know why, but I found it so fascinating. One step here in Canada, another view, and you're looking at the US. Two countries, one waterfall, one incredible place, connecting everything together. It felt so real, like geography turned into reality right in front of me. And then the day slowly started to wind down. Not everything got perfectly captured. Not every moment was filmed, and that's okay. Because for once I wasn't thinking about getting the perfect shot the whole time. I was just there, fully present, watching the water, feeling the mist, listening to the sound. And I think that was the real moment of the day. Not what I filmed, but what I actually lived. Today was emotional, beautiful, chaotic, and unforgettable. I finally saw Niagara Falls with my own eyes. And I know one thing for sure, I have to come back, because some dreams don't end when you see them, they just begin again. If you enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me here on Persian Travelista. And next time, I'm definitely bringing a backup battery. Bye!